According to Phil.
For free?
For free?
Can you say? Do you think it sounds like I know what I'm doing?
What do you mean?
Just say that.
What do you want to say?
Just say. Do you think it sounds like you know? Do you think it sounds like I know what I'm doing?
Do you think it sounds like I know what I'm doing? Today we're going to be talking about composition. Today is going to be a really good project, drawing, sleeve. It's going to be a good example on how I do my composition when coming up with a design. Especially if you're doing a sleeve, there's really not a lot of room you could work with. There's someone at the door. Alright, so there's a few things that I want to talk about today when it comes to composition. Today is going to be a really good example of that and how I place things together. Like, everything needs to be placed with intention. So today I'm going to be doing a dragon and a tiger combo. It's a really strong tattoo, so it has a really strong meaning behind it. And however you want to portray it, you know what I mean? It also depends on how you design the tattoo. Like, is it a tiger and just a dragon, or do you want it to tell a story? So in this case, I wanted to design a dragon and a tiger, kind of having like this crazy battle scene, right? When trying to fit this into a sleeve, like I said, like, you don't really have a lot of room to play with without distorting the images that you have or the characters that you have, right? Basically, you want to place the tattoo accordingly, and you kind of want to design like all your main key points, which is like your dragon head. Where is that gonna go, and where is your tiger's face gonna go, right? Like, I could have just like designed something that's, you know, very static, which is like a dragon and a tiger, and kind of just slap like fucking like elements like waves and stuff like that. But the way I design my sleeves is I like to create a story, right? Create an image, paint a picture, you know what I mean? And so in this case, I wanted to do like a quick battle scene. Bring up the opacity of my client's arm. As you can see, we have the dragon's face right here, which is very visible on his arm, and also the tiger's face right here. So let's go back and look at our 3D model here. So if you look at our 3D model, right, everything at the front is very readable. And you get to the bottom, we have the tiger's face along with the dragon's head, right? Everything you can see. So when designing something like this, it can be very tricky on how things will wrap around. So definitely having a 3D model will help you visualize on how everything is going to connect, especially on the back side, right? So the main key points that I'd like to point out is you know, find out where your dead spots are, right? So my dead spots would be like the ditch, right? And the elbow, right? I need to map out where those areas are because I do not want anything to distort or fade. Like, these areas are very crucial to fading, right? So when designing something around the elbow, like, you know, I like to keep the elbow open, right? Something really easy to touch up. So if it were to fade, like, I'm not doing something too intricate that I'm gonna have a hard time touching up, right? Another thing is practice your freehand. You want to be you want to be able to freehand any dead spots. Like if you have any open space that you need to come up with an idea on what to do there, freehanding will will allow you to think on the spot, right? And make decisions where better decisions on what to put there. And at the end of the day, it's all just practice. Have references on how to tie things together and how what a finished sleeves should look like, right? It's not cheating to have references, right? It'll actually just level up your game. Keep in mind, you don't want to trace, you don't want to do any of that, right? You want to be able to just take different ideas from different artists that maybe look up to and look at what they're doing, right? Really study on what a good sleeve should look like. When looking at this piece, you see how the top of the dragon's body is capping off the shoulder here, right? And at the bottom, I'm going to be freehanding some waves in there. I don't know if you can see that, right? We want to be able to cut the bottom of the arm. Super excited about the piece today. Stay tuned. Well, it's just we got two big creatures that we want to put together, right? And basically, I didn't want them to just kind of be stagnant. I didn't want them to just do have a static pose. Yeah. And I want them to kind of interact with each other. Well, basically, how I map out my my stencil is I do a lot of eyeballing and stuff, right? So in this case, this is a 2-part stencil, which is separated right around here. Sorry. So from here all the way down, that's going to be one stencil, and then from here to here, that's going to be another stencil. With how I'm going to scale it is I'll mark this part of his arm to right about here, and I'll measure from here to here, and yeah, eyeball exactly where I want my first stencil to be, and from here to here I've marked that as well. And so the top part is going to be 11, from here to here is going to be 12, so top 11, bottom 12. So basically what I would do, as you can see, I have two part of the stencil ready to go. Right. So from where I marked this arm, I'll use a lighter color to kind of just give me a rough idea on how I'm going to measure it, right? So I'm gonna pull up a picture of his arm right here. So that's basically where I put my markings, right? Just eyeballed it, right? Any awkward spaces, that's where the freehand skills can apply it. So, cool? Does that make sense?
Why'd you look at me?
So from my measurement, I have the top part at 11 inches and the bottom part at 12 inches.
Not in agreement?
Do that again. The tool button, go to canvas, drawing guide, edit drawing guide, go to grid size, click this button right here, go to inches, press 1. So basically each and every box is going to be 1 inch, right? So we go back to my layer. Now I need to have 12 inches in between from this marking to that marking. So I'm basically going to cut this in 3 sections. So we need 12 inches from here to here, and obviously the paper isn't big enough to fit this whole thing together. So I'm gonna have to cut this in 2 sections. So to make that easier for me, I'm just gonna line it up. So let's say right about here. So we got 6 boxes, that's 6 inches, and you cut it just right in half. Okay, and then you cut and paste and you bring the layer up and you line it up right around there, okay? And then you go back to your layers, you select both of them, and you're going to rotate to kind of have enough room for each boxes, right? So from here to here we got 3 inches, and we want to make that into 6 inches. So just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we need to make it just a little bit bigger. So you're not gonna get like a perfect stencil from this. You're gonna run into like problems where some areas will get cut out, right? So try to just line it up so you don't cut out too much. And if you do end up cutting out too much of your design, you're just going to have to reprint it or just freehand that area. So one, make sure it lines up nicely right around there. So now I can print each panel and it will be exactly what we measured that. Guideline right here to there. About 1/2 inch off. That's not bad. Perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna get you. So one thing to remember, it's never going to be fully accurate with these with the boxes that you have on your iPad. So it's best if you want to play around, like maybe make it a little bit bigger or smaller depending on like how it prints out for you. But when placing the stencil, I'd like to have my my reference open right here, so you know exactly where everything should be. You're not just guessing and stuff, right? A lot of eyeballing and kind of just figuring out your canvas and stuff, right? You're gonna make sure you know exactly where like what's gonna land on the elbow. Like I said in the beginning, like you don't want anything too intricate on the elbow, right? So I designed like the body to kind of go around it, right? So if it does fade or if it does come off, it's easily touched up. So paint this in place. First thing that I want to do when putting on the stencil is I want to focus on like the most crucial part, which is the face, and I'll work my way out. Right? Yeah. I'm talking to the video.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me.
Yeah. Totally.
Just not in agree, not in agree.
In my veins, I've been driving this train. years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la. And I'm up again. I got tired